here's one's going to be a meta concept about resigning, which is in Dominion and I suppose other games where you're going to give up on a game and you're going to count it as a loss for yourself without playing out the remainder of it. So you just kind of stop playing. And this is really something that's particular to two-player online games. If you're in physical cards, like it's way too much to be resetting up games to like do this. And if you're in multiplayer games, like you just can't. Like, what are they going to do with your spot? That's really no good. So this is something that's going to happen. Two-player digital games. And why might you do this? Well, you're not having fun anymore. This can happen. You're you're wading through too much crap from cursors or whatever. It's getting late, whatever. Sometimes it's just not it. Sometimes, you're going to be certain to lose and you don't really want to watch out the end of it. This can happen with like somebody achieves half VP, but their deck is kind of not the most amazing. So it might be taking, a lot of turns in order to get to where the game's actually ending, and you don't want to do that. Or I guess the other one where certain to lose often comes up is, you were kind of waiting for somebody to potentially dud towards an end game, and that would open the door for you, but they're not doing it, and they're going to have to play out a ton of their turn in order to actually complete the win on their turn. So you don't really want to watch them play out their entire turn when you know that it's going to result in you losing. Surely you can save a little time, resign then. And then the last one, which is I guess the most common, is going to be like you have your estimate of your win probability, and you basically have an estimate of how much effort you're going to have to put in the rest of the game in order to like stay in it, and the effort is just too high. Sometimes when you're well behind, you can kind of just be clicking cards because the reason you'll win is because like they have a couple of catastrophic duds in a row, and so you don't really have to pay too much attention to what's happening over there. But sometimes you do, and it's just not going to end up being worth it. This one's particularly in multi-game matches where you're trying to preserve a little bit of energy. Not the greatest thing to be spending a lot of your effort on losing positions. And all of these things, we have some statistics about resigns, so you can see that people resign more in games with attacks and with explosive cards. Attacks, it's probably this really not having fun anymore. They're wading through too much crap. They took like 8 curses to the opponent's 2, and the opponent has a good deck and they have a crappy deck. It's just not happening for them. And then explosive cards, particularly ones that lead to getting more of them, like you get your first King's Court, it makes it so much easier to get your next King's Court, etc. And at the point where you're looking at your opponent having 3 King's Courts and you're just buying your first one now, it can be seriously not happening for you. And so your maybe effort to win probability ratio is just too high in those cases where clearly they're so far ahead and you're going to have to work way too hard to try to win. And so you just say, nope, that's enough. I am giving up.